Welcome back. In today's video, I'm going over how to e-file Form W-2s with the SSA, Social Security Administration, and your employees. Plus, as we go, I'll be explaining the form and answering some common questions. This video is for business owners who paid an employee and now you need to file the W-2. This includes if you're an owner working in your business that's an S Corp or a C Corp. No other business owners, though, should be paying themselves with a W-2. Now, if you received a W-2 from your employer and you want to file your taxes, I have a different video showing you how to file your personal taxes. Before we jump in, if you're new here, my name's Amanda and you're watching The Business Finance Coach, where I simplify accounting and taxes. I want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, ZenWorks Tax 1099. And that's the software that I'll be showing you how to use to e-file your Form W-2s. I've been using this software to e-file one-off payroll forms and 1099s for over 10 years, and it's the simplest software that I've found to do it. So I'm really happy to have them sponsor today's video. You can follow along with me and you'll be done filing your W-2s in just a few minutes. I have a special link and discount code you can use. You'll find it in the description or comment box down below. And it will give me credit for this video, so I really appreciate you using them if you find this video helpful. Let's jump in and get started. So W-2s are due to your employees and to the SSA/IRS by January 31st. W-2s are technically filed with the Social Security Administration, but the IRS gets the information just like any other form. You do not need to file a W-3 when you're e-filing W-2s. The W-3 is only for when you're paper filing Form W-2s, which I don't recommend because you have to use special paper and there's a lot of nuance with paper filing. Plus, if you file more than 10 informational forms, 1099s, W-2s, you're required to e-file. And to be honest, it's so much easier. I'm going to show you in this video. I know some people will say, if I paid less than $600, do I have to file the W-2? If you withheld Social Security and Medicare taxes, treating them as an employee, then yes, you still have to file the W-2 to tell them about this. Okay, so when you click my link down below, you'll be prompted to create an account. From there, when you log in, you'll select this Tax 1099 on the left. It'll bring you to your dashboard, and the menu options are the blue options on the left. The first thing you're going to do is add yourself as a payer. Just enter your basic details that they're requesting, business name, which could be your personal name if you're sole proprietor, your address, your social security or EIN. Next, you want to go to recipients. And here you want to add in your recipients, which are the people you're issuing a W-2 for, your employees. And you can do this in bulk. If you have a lot of employees, you can follow these instructions. Once you do that, you head up to the Forms option and click Create New Form. Now we're in tax year 2025, federal forms, and if we scroll down, you can see all the forms you can file with this software. Now you can search right here, or I see the W-2 right here. So I'm going to click that option, and it's going to open up a single filing. Now this setup here looks exactly like our W-2 if we look at that form. The basics of all you're going to do is you're going to come down here and select your employer, that's you, that you just added as a payer. And then you're going to select the employee name, the recipient. Now on the top, you can see it's asking us a kind of payer that we are. If you don't fit under these very specific categories, you're probably a regular 941 payer if you file the 941s quarterly. However, if your payroll is extremely small, you may be just filing the 944 form annually. And check out my other video, The Ultimate Guide to Payroll for Small Businesses, for more on these details. And then in the next option, you can see if any of these apply, which for most small business owners, we're going to put none. If your business closed during the year, you'll check here. And so now we need to put in our wages, Social Security wages, Medicare wages, and then the federal income tax withheld, the Social Security tax withheld, and the Medicare tax withheld. Now, I'm going to use sample data from my payroll workbook for employees. And I have a very basic version of this that I give away for free if that's something you're interested in, just to help you keep track of these numbers for each paycheck. So here we can see our total pay for the year was $10,500. So I'm going to enter that under total wages, tips, and other compensation. And I'm going to put that same number for Social Security wages and Medicare wages. And you can see that filled in on its own automatically. Sometimes these numbers can be different. If you are an S-Corp owner and you have health insurance, these numbers could be different, or certain tipped positions. But for most simple employee situations, all three boxes, 1, 3, and 5, are going to be the same. So box 4 for Social Security tax withheld and box 6 for Medicare tax withheld is reporting only the portion that was actually withheld from the paycheck, not the employer match portion. So these populated automatically, and we can just check and make sure that they're right because they're flat taxes. So if I flip back over, we can see that's correct. Then we just need to add in our federal income tax withheld, which in this case was $679, which goes in box 2. Now, as the employer, if you provided benefits, you may need to enter some additional information about those benefits. If you provided healthcare, in box 12, which is an informational box, you'll need to select DD and enter the amount you paid for health insurance. If you do a Google search for Form W-2 and you scroll down in the PDF for box 12, and you can see Form DD is the cost of employer-sponsored healthcare. If you had a retirement plan or other types of group term life insurance, there are other codes here for those. And you can enter them by selecting the code and entering the amount. Lastly, we'll come down to the state section at the bottom. It's going to automatically pick up your state based on the address used above and fill in the amount, but you can change that if it's not correct. What you need to add is any state income tax withheld, as well as any locality information. Locality taxes are less common for W-2s, fortunately. We'll enter $343 for the state income tax. Because this box to the right of the state is checked, that means that this is going to e-file the state W-2 at the same time. And this is really convenient. I would recommend doing this. We're going to need to enter this employer's state ID number, the letter ID number, and the most recent payment you made to that state. Now, this information is specific for the state of Hawaii, so it might vary based on the state. Now, because I'm doing an example, I'm going to remove this state information so that I can show you the process all the way through. Now I'm going to click Save and Continue. So from here, you can add all of your W-2s, and then they'll all be listed here. We have the one we added for Joe Schmo. Over here, if I had the state information entered, we can check the box for the state filing. We can make sure to add the recipient email if we want to deliver the W-2 for email. There'll also be a box here once we add that email that we can check to have it sent through email. That is typically how I deliver forms, but there also is a USPS option. Then we have to check the box. You can use this box to select all of them, and we need to submit them. So you'll come over here to submit the payer, but it's going to force us to run a diagnostic first. Now I'll try to submit the payer again, and it's okay. It really wants me to use one delivery method, but we're just doing an example. From here, this is where you can enter my code for a discount. Click Apply, and then you can see there's a per form pricing here, and click Pay Now. Once you pay for the actual form, it will be submitted. Once you do that, you can go to Submitted Forms, select yourself as a payer, and you will see it listed here. Within 48 hours, but it's often much faster, you'll receive an acceptance or rejection either through email or your phone number. And if that happens, you can come over to this tab where you'll see the forms and you can resubmit them. The most common reason for that is a disconnect between the payer or recipient's name and their social security or EIN number. Okay, and that's all for e-filing your Form W-2s. See how easy that was. They also have a few other features that are pretty cool. They have ZenWorks Payments, which is you can use to make payments to contractors or bills. You can also use this section of the software for paying employees if you just want to send the net amount direct deposit. And that's where my spreadsheet templates can come in handy. If you're debating whether you should be paying your workers as W-2s or 1099s, I'll talk about that in a different video. Be sure to check it out. Also, if you want more information about all of the requirements related to payroll, check out my ultimate guide for small business owners for payroll. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment box below this video. If you want to learn more about paying workers and owners and contractors, I do have a course. And again, I give away that free worksheet for tracking basic payroll. So if you need more information, check out some of these resources. Everything is linked in the description box below. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.